Hey there everyone, thank you for joining me. Welcome to a reading. So this is part 2 of the love reading I was doing. How do they feel about you, the person on your mind? There's 4 groups for you to choose from. We have the rose quartz, the pink tourmaline for group 2, the black obsidian for group 3, and group 4 is the amethyst. Okay, so group 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you do want to pause the video so you can take a moment to choose your group, go ahead, but I will see you in your readings. Hey, if you've chosen the rose quartz, then this reading is for you, the person on your mind. How do they feel about you? Okay, let me start off with your tarot cards. So we do have the Empress in reverse. We do have the Queen of Swords upright. So it feels like this person, they are afraid to express how they feel about you. This expression does feel more positive though. You're very beautiful to them. Even if some of you don't really embrace, for some of you, they do feel like you don't really embrace your feminine side, or you could just be more on the masculine side. Whatever the case is, they do feel like you are very beautiful to them. They either feel like you already are dependent on them, which they like, but for others of you, it feels like they actually want you to be more needy, clingy when it comes to them. It feels like they really like it, so they could really like that dynamic in relationships, or it's just something that they want from you. It feels like they definitely want more of a physical connection with you as well. They already have love and care for you. They have this desire to nurture you as well. So they may feel like you aren't as open to them nurturing you. Maybe they feel like there's obstacles in doing this. For some of you, they could want you to be a bit more feminine, like a bit more... I don't know if sensitive is the word, but yeah, just a bit more feminine. I don't know what that could mean for different people, but yeah. But they also feel as though you like to keep your emotions buried below the surface, and they have empathy for that part of you. They also have some understanding of that part of you, and it does feel like they want to support you as well. They're also worried about you for some reason. For some of you, I don't know, maybe you seem stressed, maybe you're really ambitious, maybe you're experiencing something new. Maybe you're trying to go after something, trying to obtain something, and yeah, so they are worried about you as well. They also feel like that you like luxury, that you're quite well off. But they could actually feel as though you're quite humble, even though you do like nice things, or you present yourself in a very like luxurious way. But they do feel as though you were hesitant to give yourself to them. This could be referring to the past more than anything else. They could feel like you are still somewhat hesitant, but that may not be for everyone. They could feel like you are hesitant about something else. Let me see. For some of you, this could be referring to marriage. First, the Hierophant came out, and then the Devil, because I know the Devil can represent marriage as well. And then the Four of Wands in reverse came out. So it could be referring to that. It could be referring to another serious commitment, like say, for example, moving in together, or another major commitment, long-term commitment. For some of you, they kind of feel like maybe you're hesitant to put yourself in a position or situation that could potentially make you feel discontent or make you feel like you don't have your independence. Or maybe even hesitant to do something that you could potentially see as impulsive, you know? But yeah, they feel like you are vulnerable, whether you show this part or not. There's also a part of them that is afraid you could grow bored of them, or this may not be of them as a whole, but maybe a certain behavior or trait that they have. They do as well worry that you are disconnected from yourself, from your emotions. But at the same time, they don't really feel like you are someone who's insensitive or anything like that. But they do find it difficult to express themselves to you. And for some of you, they are worried about that because they're worried that nothing will come of this, whatever is going on between the both of you. They're worried nothing will come of it. But for others, there are other circumstances that make them think nothing will come of your connection. So it could be due to something else as well. But they could feel as though you are pushing them away, or this could be something that happened in the past that you did push them away. But yeah, it feels like they find it hard to show you their real feelings. This could be something that, a reason that you are more aware of, but they feel like maybe right now or in general that your heart is quite impenetrable and quite tough, you know? Right, so we do have money. So they feel like you want someone who has money, someone who is successful. But they actually think of themselves as someone who could fulfill that desire that you have of wanting someone who has maybe security, stability. So we also have naked there to bear all. Do you have more from money actually? So they do also feel as though you are still discovering yourself. Again, like, this may not be about yourself as a whole, but maybe some area of your life, like who you are in certain areas of your life. So they also feel as though they need to take a risk with you. So they also feel like in time you will become more vulnerable with them. Do you have more from naked? So we also have teeth take a big bite out of life. So they also feel like they need to focus on their own life as well. So right now they could feel like their life isn't on track and they feel as though they need to focus on getting their life back on track. But yeah, this may not actually have anything to do with you though. Let me see. You may have encouraged them or inspired them to actually do this. So we also have stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. So they actually feel like they need to stay strong for you. They may not feel all that positive though, but they feel like they need to kind of portray that or stay strong for you for some reason. I mean, it could be something that you are aware of, or this is something that they feel like a role that they would need to or do, maybe if you guys are already together, take when it comes to you. So we also have let yourself feel all of your emotions. So they actually feel like they need to guide you when it comes to the relationship you both have together. There could be guidance in another way. Do you have more from this? They could feel like you need to be more transparent or, maybe vulnerable when it does come to your feelings. So, it's not necessarily that they feel that you don't let yourself feel all of your emotions. They definitely feel like you are very aware of your own emotions, but it feels like they kind of just want to be a part of that as well. So we have heart of the matter. Clarified by the Page of Cups. Do they feel like you guys need to have a heart to heart? So it definitely feels like they want to understand what you want in love or what you want about a situation that you are more aware of. Yeah, so it feels like they do want to understand something. Understand what you're looking for, what you want moving forward. Do you have more from this? And finally, we have surrender with joy. Achieve greatness through surrender. So they definitely want you to surrender. Like they feel as though you do have these walls up. Yeah, and they feel like the only way that you guys maybe will be able to move forward or have something successful with one another if you are to surrender and kind of lower some of those guards or walls that you do have up. But it feels like they also recognize that they need to surrender something, let go of something, maybe let go of something that they wanted to happen or feel should happen. So yeah, that is all I have though. For those of you who chose this group, I do hope it could resonate and make sense and be helpful. I am wishing you the best. All right, take care of yourselves. Hey, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the second group, the pink tourmaline, then this reading is for you. Okay, so the person on your mind, how do they feel about you? We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Four of Swords. in reverse. So, so the person on your mind, they don't feel motivated to make more of an effort with you. You know, they may have the desire, the want to make more of an effort though. Um, but they may even feel like you don't notice or you don't have a problem with the lack that is coming from them. But they want to improve on it anyways, you know, but they also feel like you need to prioritize them more, or if you were together, or if like you were together, you would, you know, need to prioritize them more, or, you know, or in terms of moving forward with them. Need actually may be the wrong word. Like it would be nice if you would, you know, prioritize them more. They feel like you both need to be more open with one another as well. They feel like you both are compatible, you both can make it work. You know, although they do feel impatient for things to move forward with you. And this, you know, this could be on them. Like this could be, you know, fully a them problem and something that they need to work out and, you know, something that they need to make effort towards. And it feels like they actually recognize that as well. And they may also feel ready, like it's very, especially like if there has been a period of stagnation, you know, them maybe just kind of being like a bit apathetic or distant, like they recognize that they are the ones that kind of need to change things moving forward. And you know, they do feel slightly disappointed with themselves as well. Like this could be in relation to you, it could be in relation to other areas of their life. This does feel like it is mostly when it comes to you. That was clarified by the Chariot. So let me see. They could actually feel disappointed that you see them as something that they're not. They could actually feel like you see them as like a bit of a player, and they feel like they aren't these things. They recognize that they do have issues around relationships, commitment, stuff like that, but they feel like they aren't necessarily the things that you think they are. But anyway, so they do feel like things have been moving slowly, but they also feel that has been a good thing, or it's potentially a good thing, you know, because it's made them realize what they want when it comes to you, but also like in terms of relationships in general, like it's kind of given them with the Four of Swords in reverse, like maybe it's given them that clarity, you know, that kind of, you know, certainty in their mind and in terms of what they want. So yeah, they definitely had this realization when it comes to you as well. They do feel slightly obsessed with you as well, like they really like you. But they feel bad that they've been boring, or they feel bad that they have been more low key. For some of you, they do feel bad that they've not been obvious when it comes to you, like not been obvious in their feelings for you. They feel regretful as well that they haven't finished what they started when it comes to you. Right now, it does, you know, feel like they are lacking that confidence. I mean, this could be due to like other things that they have going on in their life that does impact how they are able to kind of show up for you. For some of you, this could be referring to finances or their work or their career. For some of you, they could lack confidence in what they do for a living. For some of you, they kind of just lack confidence when it comes to you. Let me see. But yeah, they could have some worries that they aren't necessarily stable enough. But yeah, they feel as though they shouldn't have stayed silent when you needed or wanted them to be more vocal. You know, they feel like they are too introspective at times, which can bite them in the arse, you know, at times as well. And, you know, they don't necessarily want to change this about themselves because that's just who they are, but they do regret not speaking up. They do regret like that part of themselves kind of making them hold back, you know, and, you know, like just not coming out of their bubble. But there is this part of them that does feel like they can't necessarily be can't be their true selves. And, you know, this may not even, like, this could be around you, but it could just be something that they deal with in general, you know? For some of you, this may not even have anything to do with or something they deal with in general. It could just be in certain environments, they find it hard to be themselves. They find it hard to, you know, come out of their shell, come out of their bubble in certain environments or around certain people. Like maybe in certain social settings and stuff like that. But at the same time, like when it comes to them not being able to be their true self, like they're not making it a you problem. Like they realize it has nothing to do with you. You know, it's just something that they deal with. But yeah, it feels like they want you both to kind of build trust with one another. And they are kind of working on not closing themselves off to the world, not closing themselves off to you. And it does feel like they are like becoming ready to socialize again, especially with you if you're up to it. So we have childhood home. Remember where you are from and who you really are. So they feel ready to reconnect with you again because they feel as though they have managed to reconnect with themselves, or they're at least on the journey of reconnecting with themselves. And it kind of makes them feel a bit more ready. Like even though they may not have all the confidence, they do have the right amount of confidence to kind of, you know, feel confident enough to kind of move forward with you in some way, or kind of, you know, talk to you, or be more open with you. Do you have more from this childhood? So yeah, it does feel like they kind of lost themselves for a moment, but it feels like with this, remember who you are, remember where you're from, it feels like they are like feeling more themselves, which makes them feel more ready, more motivated even. But anyway, so we also have job, love what you do what you love. So they either feel like you haven't been enjoying kind of being around them, spending time with them, but it feels like now they kind of want to be someone you enjoy being around. So we also have angel tap into your high wisdom. So they do feel like you are this awesome person. Like they could feel like you do have a lot of angelic qualities. But they do also feel as though you are very insightful, or you've kind of given them the time to kind of be insightful themselves, like that inspiration or that push. So we also have life-changing epiphany or experience. So similar to the message that came out earlier with this life-changing epiphany, it does feel like they have had this realization about you. They've had this sort of, epiphany when it comes to you. And I don't know, it feels like they are kind of ready to make changes when it, not only like when it comes to you, but also their personal life. It feels like they've maybe realized that they need to take their happiness into like their own hands, instead of like kind of waiting for things to change for them. Like they feel like they need to be that change. So it does feel like on some level they are very grateful to you. We also have ready to love again. So they do feel ready to love again, like ready to open themselves up, when it comes to that area of their life. Do you have more from this? So we also have silencing the mind. So it does feel like they're ready to come out of their head. And if you're someone who can be in your head as well, it feels like they kind of want to encourage you or kind of give you the confidence or the faith in them for you to feel like confident enough to do that as well. And finally, we have balanced life. So they also kind of see you and feel like you are this balanced person or someone who is living a very balanced life. And it feels like they really appreciate, and love this about you. But anyways, that is all I have. For those of you who chose this group, I do hope it could be helpful and resonate for you. But I'm wishing you the best, okay? Please take care. Bye. Hey, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the third group, the Black Obsidian, then this reading is for you, the person on your mind. How do they feel about you? So we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Knight of Cups. So the person you're asking about, they feel like you aren't making enough of an effort with them. They feel quite defeated when it comes to you. They feel like maybe they failed, or the relationship and situation between you both has just not really been a success. They could also feel as though you kind of see them as a failure. But yeah, they kind of just feel as though you both aren't very compatible, and they do kind of question whether or not they were or are good enough for you. They feel like they're kind of boring around you. When they kind of aren't usually like that, and they wish that they had loosened up more around you, or they wish that they, again, if this is like a current situation, they wish that they, would feel confident or comfortable enough to loosen up around you. But yeah, they feel like you kind of want them to go above and beyond for you. And there's a part of them that actually kind of feels like they have gone above and beyond for you, but they feel like maybe you don't recognize that, or there's just kind of this misalignment in regards to like how you perceive love, or how you perceive certain actions when it comes to love, and stuff like that. So there could be some misconceptions, misunderstandings. Just again, this could be due to like just incompatibilities and you guys perceiving and doing stuff in different ways and how that's received by the other person. Um, but yeah, they do feel like you are a super affectionate person, not necessarily towards them. This could be towards another person in your life. They actually may feel or know for a fact that you are into someone else, that there's someone else kind of that's getting your love, someone else that's getting your attention. They do feel like you are really ambitious, but they do feel like indifferent towards this. They kind of just feel or have recognized that you guys aren't, a perfect fit for each other, aren't a good match, and there's someone better out there for them, and that there's someone better out there for you, and that's okay. It feels like they are kind of coming to a point where they're like, okay, it is what it is, and yeah. And they do feel like you aren't, paying enough attention to them, or in the past you weren't paying enough attention to them, but it feels like they want you to, it feels like they want your attention. They also fantasize about having an affair with you, but at the same time, they feel like they haven't really shown you uh, like the better part of themselves. Like maybe they feel like they've shown you only not the greatest parts of themselves. And they do feel regretful of this, like even though they could have, let me see, have they made peace? Like even though they may have made peace, it definitely feels like they're still hurt by whatever's happened between you both, or the fact that there hasn't been a success in your relationship to them, but they still feel like maybe they've kind of, made their peace with it, at the same time. Um, but yeah, they do feel like you are this hard worker, but they also feel neglected by you, maybe kind of pushed to the side, and like you aren't or weren't, necessarily giving them what they need. But at the same time, like it feels like they're not resentful towards you. They understand, like it just is what it is, but they still feel hurt. Um, but yeah, at the same time, like they see you as this really great person, as well. Like they see you as someone who is super friendly, very compassionate, and just a good person. Like they see you as someone who's following your dreams, and like you just have this good soul, like this good energy about you. They also feel like you can be very charming. Like they definitely feel like you charmed them for sure. Even if it didn't work out, like they still are very curious about you as well. Like this is someone who would definitely kind of keep an eye on you, like on your progress, like on your social media. Like they would definitely kind of keep up with what you're doing. But at the same time, it feels like they've kind of maybe recognized that they kind of just need to like enjoy you but from a distance, or have a relationship with you but from a distance. Like, they just kind of feel like on some level you both aren't good for each other. Maybe they feel like you don't bring the best out in one another as well. But yeah, they're still very curious about you though. So they could feel like even though you are interested in someone else, maybe they feel like you're not in a committed relationship with them. For some of you, maybe they feel like you're not really looking for a committed relationship at all right now. So I didn't do this for the other groups. But there's like two very distinct, like different energies that have come out. We have private and shy, not necessarily similar, but kind of similar. And we also have outspoken and goofy, which is again not similar, but kind of similar in energy, if you know what I mean. So maybe one of you, like, let me see. So maybe one of you are more outgoing, outspoken, goofy, playful, whilst the other person is maybe more private, maybe not necessarily shy, but maybe more on the reserved side, more, self-controlled. Whether that be you or whether that be them, but they do feel like there is this kind of stark contrast when it comes to the both of you. But they do feel like you are quite playful. They do feel like you are quite fun, especially with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands coming out. And that feels like something that they actually liked about you. And it feels like they also miss when you were like kind of maybe shy around them. Like maybe they kind of realize that you're more outspoken and goofy, whereas maybe initially they kind of perceived you as maybe private and shy. But they kind of realize that maybe you're like not necessarily those qualities all the time, or that was just not an accurate representation of who you genuinely are. But anyways, so we also have party, celebrate yourself. So I don't know what this has to do with you, but they do feel as though that they need to celebrate themselves a bit more. Let me see. And it also, there's also a part of them that kind of hopes they would run into you. I don't know if you guys share like a similar social circle or anything, but it feels like maybe you guys have, a potential that you guys could run into each other like at a party. And again, like if this is something that could potentially happen, like they do wonder like what that would be like, kind of seeing you in a like a social setting. Do you have more from that? But they kind of maybe see you kind of just living your life, celebrating your life, and they kind of feel like they need to do the same. We also have transition, release attachments to what was and prepare for what is to come. So yeah, they do feel as though you are needing to let go of each other, free of swords. So I don't know, it could be something that is difficult to do, or has been difficult, and kind of maybe you guys are holding on to each other because of, maybe you guys are very attached to each other still. But they do feel like, it's come to a point where you guys do need to release an attachment to your past and kind of focus on, the future separately. So we also have get into the driver's seat of your life. So yeah, they feel like they need to kind of take control of their life. But this also feels like kind of them finding more excitement in their life. We also have let yourself sparkle and shine. So again, like they feel like they need to get the color back into their life. Like they feel like when they're around you, they feel like they aren't the best version of themselves. Like they feel like they're kind of dull, they feel like they're kind of boring, and they feel like they need to kind of bring that excitement back into their lives. So we also have revealing your true self. As you allow others to know the real you, you'll feel love for who you truly are. So they feel like over time you kind of revealed more of your true self, where it's like they're kind of looking at you now and it feels like, okay, I've gotten clarity on who you truly are. So they do feel like you have revealed your true self. Like, and they may even really like this version of you, like of who you truly are, but at the same time it feels like they don't necessarily like how they've been showing up. And even though they could like you for who you truly are, they maybe feel like it isn't necessarily reciprocated. So we also have move forward. So they are ready for you kind of both to move forward. Again, like as individuals, maybe they feel like you guys need to let each other go, let go of what was, and kind of focus on something new with the devil and Ace of Wands coming out. And finally, we have return to joy. So it does feel like, are they unhappy? So it does feel like they could potentially be unhappy, again, this could be unhappy with themselves, unhappy with who they are when they are with you, maybe even when it comes to relationships in general, and they kind of just want to be happy again, and that feels like something that they want to work on for sure. But anyways, like that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could resonate and make sense and be helpful. But I'm wishing you the best. All right, take care. Hi, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the fourth group, the Amethyst, and this reading is for you. The person on your mind, how do they feel about you? Okay, so we have the Moon upright. We also have the Ten of Wands in reverse. Right, so they do feel confused, like they do feel a lot of confusion about you. It feels like they definitely have some fears when it comes to you as well. So for some of you, this fear could like be due to age, incompatibility, or immaturity. They could also feel that you can be a bit inconsistent, but they also understand why that is. Like they feel that they share this spiritual connection with you, and you may be very spiritual, but it feels like they aren't necessarily that spiritual, or maybe even, let me see. I mean, for some of you, like they could be more religious, but whatever the case is, like they do feel this, spiritual bond with you, They feel like there have been many misunderstandings between you both as well, but they could feel as though like it would be easy to kind of squash these misunderstandings. Like these misunderstandings aren't so big that it will kind of, take a long time to kind of overcome. But for some of you, they could feel as though maybe you've already kind of squashed it as well. But at the same time, like even though they feel like it would be easy to squash, or something you guys have both already come over, like there is a part of them that kind of feels like it still poses an issue in your relationship, or poses an issue in the future of your relationship. But yeah, they also feel like you are hiding something from them. They feel that you need to be more honest with them, or just be more transparent. Like they could feel like even though you aren't necessarily like dishonest with them, they could feel like you aren't transparent either. So, and they feel like they do want you to be more of that. Okay. But I have to say, like, despite that, despite you not being, 100% transparent with them, they trust you. It feels like they do have a lot of trust in you, who you are as a person, how you carry yourself. But they do kind of feel as though you still want your freedom, maybe to be an individual, maybe in general, or just when it comes to them. But they also feel like you both could be good for each other, They may actually kind of feel that you would be more good for them than they would be for you. But they do have this desire to be affectionate with you, or more so. And it also feels like they really miss you as well. And, even though there could be these, let me see, like, even though you guys may have run into these road bumps, or they feel like you guys will run into road bumps, they also feel like you mean well, that you have, these really good intentions as well. They feel that you are composed. They maybe feel like you don't necessarily find it so easy to show your feelings, but under the surface, they feel like you are a very like emotional person. Like the saying, "Still rivers run deep." I don't know if that's the saying, but yeah, they definitely feel like on the surface you're very composed, but under the surface, like so emotional. There's so much depth to you. Um, they also feel like you can be a bit nervous about them. And they also feel like they haven't been completely honest with you. For some of you, this is referring to their creativity. For some of you, this is referring to another person. With the Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords, this could be like an ending that happened. It could be referring to a past relationship, Six of Swords, something that they do have moved on from. But with all these swords coming out, Eight of Swords, King of Swords, Six of Swords, Ten of Swords, like this could be something that they still think a lot about. Like this could be something that they still like kind of stress about too. Like there could be a person that's kind of making it hard for them to kind of move forward and kind of put an end to something. With that Eight of Swords, maybe they kind of feel trapped in this situation, or they feel like someone else is trying to trap them in like in a hurtful, unhelpful situation. But yeah, they feel like they haven't been completely honest with that about you. With yeah. But they feel like it has been kind of impacting how they kind of show up with you, impacting how they interact with you as well. So this is why that's kind of like on their mind, and it's kind of making them feel nervous and making them feel confused, and making kind of feel like kind of stressed out. But yeah, they feel like you are a challenge for them, but they kind of wish these obstacles and these challenges would be just removed already. They feel like you need to fight for them, or they would like for you to fight for them, or kind of put more pressure on them and kind of be more like, let me see, involved when it comes to them. Like you could be kind of low key, kind of chill, but they kind of want you to be more like overbearing with them. Like they could want that from you. But yeah, they do feel like you do have these boundaries. They maybe feel like you are learning to say no. For some of you, they feel like maybe you do need to learn to say no. Maybe not necessarily when it comes to them, but another area or another person in your life. But yeah, they do feel like you are stressful and not easy. Not necessarily that you are the one stressing them out or anything like that, or you're being kind of stressful towards them, just that they feel stressed in relation to you. But they do kind of feel like you are letting go of burdens, but you still feel drained or tired. Not necessarily because of them, but like just life stuff in general, really. And they also have this fear that you may kind of give up on them after a short time, or after kind of getting to know them, or kind of just like diving deeper with them. But yeah, they feel like you have been prioritizing things that are more important for you. But it feels like they want to be one of those priorities as well. So we also have keys. Seek no further, your aha moment is at hand. So it feels like they kind of just want to know where they stand with you. So yeah, it feels like they want that clarity from you as well. Just so that they can know how to move forward with you. So we also have flower. Pluck the weeds and plant the seeds of your most magnificent expression. So they do feel like you are super sexy, super sensual as well. Like very beautiful. You're more than just attractive to them. Like they feel like there's a depth to your, sensuality as well. Let me see. For some of you, they could feel like you do focus on the negative, or they kind of feel like maybe that's just a part of who you are in general. And this doesn't have to be negative, like you're like a bad person or anything like that. You could just be, let me see. Like you could just have like a darker vibe about you. For some of you, like this may not be in general, this could be just something that they feel in relation to them. Like you could maybe have a bit more of a negative view or perspective when it comes to them. And for some of you, like they do feel it is, because you have that perspective on them, or at least because they kind of perceive you as having that perspective on them, they do feel like it is maybe more difficult to kind of be more authentic or more expressive in, how they kind of interact with you or communicate with you. So we have thoughtful. But yeah, they do feel like you are this really thoughtful person. They actually feel very thoughtful when it comes to you. We also have gentle. They also feel like you're a gentle person. But it actually feels like they want you to be a bit more aggressive, like especially when it comes to them. We also have cheeky. So for some of you, like they feel as though that they were quite cheeky when it came to you. I don't know, maybe this is playful. Maybe they feel like they did something that you kind of perceive as cheeky, but cheeky as in not necessarily playful, but as in like the audacity, So for some of you, they could perceive them, feel as though that they maybe shouldn't. Let me see, do they feel like they shouldn't have done that? For some of you, that they kind of just feel like maybe that's just who they are. Let me see. But yeah, and we also have outspoken. So yeah, they feel like they are someone who is maybe just normally outspoken, but they do feel like they need to be more outspoken when it comes to you specifically. Maybe they have done that already, but maybe they feel like it backfired, or for some of you, they're kind of worried that it will. But anyway, so we have ocean, go with the flow. But yeah, they feel like you're kind of more prone, more kind of down for kind of like going with the flow. But again, like they want you to be more like less chill, more aggressive when it comes to them. So we also have easy does it. So it says your health, happiness, and abundance require a gentle approach to life and work. So again, like there is this gentle message, your health, happiness, and abundance require a gentle approach to life and work. So yeah, I don't know, they could feel like you are taking a general approach, or maybe you're just kind of like a soft, gentle, low key, kind of like just not aggressive, like not forceful person in general. We also have spiritual path, your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. So they do feel like you are this spiritual person with that death card coming out as well. They could feel like you have put them on a more spiritual path with that Six of Swords. But it feels like maybe since they've met you, like some of their beliefs are becoming clearer to them, like their desires, like and what they actually want. So we also have energy of love. So they do have a lot of love for you for sure. You know, even if they do feel confused and they're still kind of trying to work certain things out, yeah, they do have a lot of love and compassion for you. And finally, we have slow down to relax. So it feels like they kind of want excitement with you, whereas they kind of feel like you more want to chill, more want to relax. And it feels like they actually really like this contrast in how you both operate as well. Like, especially if they are more outgoing, more energetic, more cheeky, and you kind of are more gentle, chill, you know, soft, and, you know, just not pushy, and more relaxed. And they kind of like these differences, you know, between the two of you for sure. But anyways, that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could resonate and be helpful for you, but I am wishing you the best, all right? Take care. Bye.